And here's Leah.
Oh, the baby's going to sit in my lap today, so if you see any strange things, you'll know. Hi, everybody. This is my stuff that goes... I have so much stuff to tell you today. I mean, we could do 5 hours, but I won't bore you that long. Meanwhile, okay, so let me get my stuff together here. I think before I get all my stuff together, let's get all this stuff off my list that I wasn't counting on, that James piled on for me. Well, let's see. We have a Friends and Family Week at 40% off all skincare singles. Use the code Friends 2021. Did you have to pick friends? What if they're enemies? You can send this to your enemies.
Well, that's
too.
what they say. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer.
There you go, right there, individual. This is a cute graphic, though.
Okay.
Friends 2021. Well, since I don't have any friends, that's a sugar. Oh, Leah's life lessons. If you're right, don't sit down. Make them take you down. Oh, I like that one. I can't believe I come up with all this stuff in the middle of the night. So last night I didn't have my phone for literally 14, 16 hours. I was having a heart attack.
I was getting ready to say, how did you survive?
I was late today because the traffic is, what is going on in Miami?
What is going on? It's horrible. It was 45 minutes from my house this morning.
How long is it usually?
It's not even like 12 miles. It shouldn't take that long.
Like 20 minutes?
Usually about 20 minutes.
Jason, how long did it take you to get home the other night?
Yeah.
3 hours. 3 hours. And how long is it usually?
20 minutes.
3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
And Raymond, how long did it take you to get here? Did you get in the traffic today? He probably didn't because he came at a reasonable hour. But I am telling you, I was an hour and 20 minutes in that car that I know of because I couldn't check my phone, time on my phone, so I had to check the phone, my watch, which I couldn't tell for sure what time I left, but I think it was an hour and 20 minutes, and normally it's 25 minutes if there's traffic. So what is going on in Miami? Art Basel's over and everyone's gone. Can't they just, I don't think you ought to move to Miami. Miami is Florida. Do not move to Florida. You're not going to like it here. You're going to not like it. You're going to love where you are. Bloom where you're planted. Don't come here. We have too much traffic already. And the restaurants are too packed already.
For sure.
Okay, then we have another thing in my pile.
That was your testimonial for this week.
Oh, my testimonial for the week. Well, this is actually James. My pile's over here. Yeah. I just received your Sudden Youth Nourishing Cannabis Sativa Oil, and I'm loving it. It's very hydrating and feels so soothing on my skin. This is my new go-to product. Oh, thank you so much from Tara Lynn Luquin. Nice, thank you. Oh, I do like, it's funny, everybody loves that oil.
Absolutely.
I am kind of cheap with giving it out, and James is like, come on, just give them that sample. We need to get that in a sample size.
That's what everybody's been asking for.
We need to. Yeah. I think we have to get like 100,000 or something. Yeah, this is my tweet that I had Jason print this out. I'm on Twitter all the time, Leah Black Miami on Twitter. If you want the news curated and you want to know what's going on in the world, just follow my Twitter because I retweet anything that's like going on. Okay, are you telling me, this guy Jeff, Tiedric says, are you telling me the guy who cheated to get into college, cheated to get out of Vietnam, and cheated on his wives, and cheated at golf, and cheated students at his scam university, and cheated donors to his fake charity, has been cheating the Security Exchange Commission, ? Get the F out of here. Yeah. It's so hilarious. He's got that new grift and scam going where people are donating to this media platform that he's probably never really going to get together. I mean, I don't know. Let's see if it comes together.
They're looking into it.
While I'm telling you, look at all my glasses I had. I wanted to show you.
Oh my goodness, fabulous.
These are my Dan Deutsch. Deutsch. And he has showrooms in Beverly Hills and in West Hollywood and I don't know wherever else. But you can go online, or he's also on Instagram. He posts all his pictures. But I love all my glasses I get from him, not only because they look good, but the lenses that he puts in them are just so much more crisp and clear than any I've ever bought. Look at these. Aren't these fabulous?
Yes. They look great.
I think so.
They look good with your scarf, too.
They do?
You look
good.
Oh,
my God, it's just fabulous. I didn't know I was what do you call it, a style icon?
Oh yeah.
An influencer.
You're an influencer.
But I'm not on those porn sites.
You're not on.
I just found out some people I know are. I almost fell on the floor. I was like, what is, I never heard of it before. So it's like, what? They're on what? Anyway. And then these are two, these are like I love these too. Don't you love
those? Always
these?
Look good on you, I think.
These are just these are better than Tom Ford. And they were less expensive. And I think they're just so fabulous.
Yeah, they're great.
So anyway, I wanted to share that with you because I'm going to LA and I was packing and I was like, I'm going to take my Dan Deutsch glasses with me to LA.
That's nice.
Oh, here's another thing. Oh, this is funny. I saw this on Twitter. Jose VF1. Now, Raymond, you have to listen to this. You're the only one that's going to really get it. The Latino, well, Lewis might get it too. Latino holiday cheat sheet. What they say and what they mean. What they say. The Latino holiday. Come at 2. What they mean is come at 5. What they say is we're going to eat soon, and what they mean is dinner is at 10. What they say is we'll probably have one more bottle. What they mean is each. They say, come say hi to the primos, and what they mean is come kiss some strangers you don't know. What they say is Tio wants to see you. That's uncle, right? Yeah. And what they mean is you have to go do a shot. What they say is, what do you mean? Who is that? It's Tia Lucita. And what they mean is, I have no idea how or if actually we're related. What they say is one more drink and we'll go. And what they mean is we're staying till 4 a.m. What they say is we can live as soon as I say bye to everyone. And what they mean is they are never leaving. That is so true. When I lived in Puerto Rico, I'm telling you, it gets worse as you go. So I'm in Texas. I live in Dallas. Everything's on time. I come down to Miami and everything's like an hour and 2 hours late. Yeah. I go to Puerto Rico and it's like, well, dinner's at 6, it means 10. I go to Dominican Republic with Tico and then it's 2 more hours. It's the further south you go into Central and South and Latin America that the hours just go. I'm telling you. And when I was in Puerto Rico, they'd say, oh, we're going to have lunch at 2. They show up at 5 o'clock for lunch. And then it would be a 5-hour lunch. And then they go, well, it's time for dinner. And then we're going to start up again. It's just the craziest thing. But I will say they have a lot of fun. So there's that.
They do.
Give them the credit for that.
Somebody I used to work with at Perry Ellis, he was from Cuba, and he used to always say that the Cuban family starts out as 4 people, but by the time they walk around the mall, they've got 23 members.
Don't forget to ask me about this today. Don't forget. This is for you. You got to ask me today. Okay, here's another one. Being a princess is so yesterday. I didn't even remember printing that, but it's cute. Okay, another thing I had printed. Oh, no. That's what this is. Melissa Hunt wrote this book.
Yeah, this
Being
is
a Princess is So Yesterday.
Yes, correct.
I remember now. It's such a cute, look at the cover. Isn't it cute? I think the cover is so cute. It's a little princess looking in the mirror with a little tiara on, or little clothes. Anyway, it's a really cute book. It's a fun and modern book that teaches young girls that their gender does not define what they can dream about being. Breaking down stereotypes and reinforcing that all girls are just as amazing as anyone else. The glass slipper may not always fit, but let your crown shine through. Isn't that cute?
That's so sweet.
So you can buy this book where?
It's $12.99 and it's sold online at distributors like Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble.
Being a Princess is So Yesterday by Melissa Hunt. I think it's very cute. You know, people should spend more time writing children's books because children like to be read. The children like to be read to. The children's books sell well. They keep them forever in their little library, and they're teaching them little life lessons. Instead, they're writing, National Enquirer gossip. I don't know what else to say.
No, and she had written this, and she said she was just having a really hard time getting the word out that the book was out there. So she had asked us if we could, help her spread the word. So it's wonderful. It's a wonderful cause.
It's a great Christmas gift too. You probably get in time to get it for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Actually, I should have ordered one from Monroe.
Oh, that would be cute.
You know what? Let's do that, James.
Okay.
Right here. I'm going to give you this to
I have the
remind you.
email here.
And can they put a thing with it, like a
little
you
message
put a little
or
note with
something?
it from
Yeah.
Auntie Leah here
Okay.
to remind you. We'll send one to Monroe for Christmas.
Okay.
That's cute. Monroe Lewis, Jeff's little girl. She's so cute and so sweet. I don't know where she got it from. I think her Aunt Leah. Okay, so meanwhile, my back went out for 4 or 5 days. I could hardly move. I was like, oh my God, here we go again. Ever since I had that epidural 20 years ago, my back goes out like 2 or 3 times a year for and it's not even out. It's like a muscle spasm. So Roy said, oh, take the Celebrex, because he recently had this procedure done on his back. I took a Celebrex. I slept for I'm going to tell you, at least 16 to 18 hours. I will never take another one of those pills. I slept literally 16 to 18 hours on that pill.
Probably needed it though.
I don't know. I mean, I can sleep. I'm a sleeper. I love to sleep. But that was like a sleeping pill. And by the way, say happy birthday to Jason.
Happy birthday, Jason.
Happy birthday, Jason. He hates it. He doesn't
He
like
hates
to
it.
celebrate. We don't care. Happy birthday anyway.
We were going to do it all live on the air and make a big deal about it.
We should have a big party on the air with all of our millions of viewers. So I'm going to go to LA this weekend. I have people staying at the house here, and I believe it, I hired a security guard in LA. Can you believe it? I decided I'm going to hire a security guard.
Yeah.
Because there's so much stuff going on. Just told my neighbor, watch for the boxes. They're stealing them off the porch, and I'm in a good neighborhood. So Brendan finished his apartment, and he got his last thing that he needed, which was a shelf for the put on the wall. And he sent me a picture of it. Do you realize he has 4 Emmys? He's not even 30 years old. He only paid for 2.
know. I mean,
okay, I said, Brendan, where are the other 2 Emmys? He goes, well, I didn't want to spend the $700 each on them. I'm like, are you crazy? Buy the damn Emmys for $700 each. I said, I'll buy it and keep it as my Emmy.
Yeah.
So I said, tell your parents that's what you want for Christmas. You want them to buy your last 2 Emmys. He makes plenty money. He lives plenty good. And you would act like you would think he didn't have the money to buy those Emmys. He has the money. I'm like, Brendan, do you understand how prestigious it is to have those 4 Emmys at 30 years old? He goes, well, nobody really ever comes over here anyway. I'm like, buy the Emmys. What is wrong with you? Most people I know would have bought those things and said, FedEx them overnight and had a selfie taken and put it on already, Anyway, so there's that. And when I was in LA the last time I was there, my friend, who's a doctor, scientist, researcher, bought a new house. He bought the Helen Mirren house. It's on 7 acres, got a view of the entire city. It's a mansion. It's just spectacular. He's moving in at the end of this month. And I said to him, you have no idea how much maintenance this house is going to be. 7 acres of landscaping. How many landscapers do you think it's going to take for 7 acres of landscaping? I have 4 that come once a week, and we can't keep our yard up, and it's only 2 acres. And we have Paul, and we have Omar in the meantime. So I don't know. I said, I think you have no idea what you're going to be spending on landscaping and maintenance and housekeeping, and you probably going to want a chef if you're working all the time. I mean, if you have room for one, I'd like to have one, but I don't have room for them, and I don't want them under my feet. And it's actually sometimes cheaper to have a chef than to eat out, to tell you the truth.
For sure.
So meanwhile, I think I told you guys last time we went to the Gucci movie. Didn't I tell you about that?
You said you went, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot to tell you that. You know who was there with Barry as his guest was Demi Moore. I forgot. She is so gorgeous. She's not aged one. Oh my God, it was fantastic. And Sofia Vergara, from Miami, she was there. It was just at the premiere. And she hasn't aged one bit either. Those girls, they just looked so gorgeous. I was like, oh my God. And they had their masks on, of course, but they were still just beautiful.
She's getting ready to be in the new Netflix Ryan Murphy movie it's done by the people that do Narcos. She's going to play Griselda.
That's right.
Yes.
And you're not going to believe this.
I love that story, too.
So Roy was involved in that trial.
In that trial, I know
And I
it.
think she had death threats
She
and
did.
all this and that. And oh yeah, my
She's
God.
awful.
Yeah.
I've read a couple books about her.
Yeah, Roy told
She cut
me.
someone's head off and sent it to their family on Christmas. And
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I think that Roy was representing some of the drug dealers in that case,
Yes.
you know, back in the 80s. And I remember him saying, no one's going to cross her, you know. Yeah, that's right. Sophia will be fantastic at that.
I think so too.
just be
She'll clean up at the
fantastic.
Emmy Awards probably for that.
Oh, I hope so. She's so adorable. And then meanwhile, there was a windstorm in LA when I was there. I heard this noise like you can't believe, this ruckus. So I went outside and the next morning, and I'm telling you, things that it would take 10 men to lift up were blown over. Even, you know that cabana that you ordered that was there? Blown over, completely blown over. All the lawn chairs blown over. You know, those big, I mean, I had sandbags around them because I didn't want to put holes in the cement, you know? And I mean, it was unbelievable, this windstorm. And so I had just spent the money to get the yard and the patio perfect. Because
That's
we were
always
going to
when
be
it
there
happens.
for the week. It was absolutely perfect. The day they left, that night, they came and did all the trees, they cut everything back the next day. If they would have waited one more day, they wouldn't have had to cut anything. They'd have just had to haul it off.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there was that.
That always happens to me too. It's like the day I do the landscaping or clean or put down bark
Something-
chips,
then
it rains and
or
washes it all out the
something
next
every
day.
time. So Raymond was nice enough to go buy Freda and Tico a bunch of food for Thanksgiving. Was it a lot of food? Because Tico said it wouldn't fit in his refrigerator. Was it a lot? Huge. Oh, it was a big box. Did you open it up and take the stuff out of the box? So it wouldn't fit in his refrigerator? Oh my God. So Freda put it in the refrigerator and then she made plates for them. And then their stove isn't working because they were renovating their kitchen. So she heated it up for them. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do now? You're going to be here during Christmas, right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to order from Cafe Abraci for Freda and just go get it picked up and take it to her because that was a whole thing. Oh my God.
Or
But
order at Joe's or someplace and get it.
from Freda?
Well,
Can you
whoever.
imagine Freda wanting stone crabs?
Well,
Are
she
you-
might eat fried chicken or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
They
she
have
would.
other stuff. They have really
to
good
go
food.
over to Joe's stone
Oh
crabs?
my God. I did it for Thanksgiving. I have to be honest. This year the food wasn't as great as
Really?
it's been in the years past. I was a little disappointed this year.
You know the Bergs, remember when we looked up the stone crabs and how much it cost to ship to LA?
Yes.
I realize now why I don't take them in the summer in LA. They're not in season.
They're not in season.
And that's when I can go on the plane with them. I can't take them on the plane here. They won't allow you
Nope.
unless you check it. And I'm not checking and waiting 2 hours for the stone crabs, which will probably be ruined by the time they get there. $1,500.
Yes.
For how many? For
For
four
10
people?
or for it was $1,500 for 4, yes. And then
I mean,
and I called them and asked them to clarify what that came
Yeah.
with, and it just is the claws and the sauce and I think coleslaw or something like
That
that.
is ridiculous.
Isn't that
So when
crazy?
we were at the Bergs, she must have had, there were 6 of us. She probably had spent $3,000 on stone
Yep.
crabs.
I believe it.
Oh my God, it'd be nice to just be so wealthy.
A lot.
So,
Stone crabs. That you have
oh,
to,
and then
and then you have to work for them to eat them.
oh yeah, it's a lot of work. Jason, you remember Paul Yan that worked for Pop, the little Asian guy? He was so sweet. He sent me a little photo and a direct message. He was having dinner with Michael Beck that also worked. Yeah, and they were out to dinner together and they sent me the sweetest little note saying we're thinking of you and all the things you've done for all of us, because I did help Michael with his business and I helped him get an assistant, and I don't know if I've ever done anything for Paul, but he thinks I have. And anyway, it was very sweet. They were two of the nicest guys I worked with on production. And, you know, Jeff is going to have a new box coming out in Christmas on the 23rd. If anybody wants to listen to Jeff Lewis live on the 23rd, we're going to do a bundle for him. It's going to be a real bargain.
Yeah.
But it's the end of the year and it's Christmas, so we're just trying to reward all of the customers that
It's
have
going to be
bought
the
over
New
years.
Year, New You.
The
bundle.
New Year, New You. And let's see, moving right along. So Alex Baldwin did his interview. What do you guys think?
I think he should not have done the interview.
What, did you watch it, Jason?
I didn't think it helped him.
I was actually kind of moved by it.
I was too. I felt sorry for him. It broke my
I mean, I did
heart.
too, but I think he probably shouldn't have done the interview.
Well, I'm sure his lawyers told him
Yeah.
not to. But you know, this is thing with these celebrities. Remember when O.J. Simpson went out and did a press conference?
Yeah.
I mean, any lawyer in the world would go, you don't go out and talk about it. He went out to give a press conference. They're more worried about their image and their public perception than they are the law. Now, in Simpson's case, it's all ego. But I think in Alex's case, I think he just feels this burden that I have got to tell people this was not my fault. It's just eating at him.
Yeah, probably.
And I think that's why he did it. I felt he was very authentic, and I think he meant everything he said. I think he was telling the truth. My heart broke for him.
He deleted his Twitter account this week.
What?
He deleted his Twitter account this week.
He deleted his Twitter account?
The night after the interview came on, he deleted.
Well, he probably got a bunch of trolls.
I'm sure he did.
He should have just shut down the comments.
Yeah.
You know, people are so mean.
They're horrible.
People are
I mean, I just can't
mean.
even believe the stuff that
I
sometimes.
know. People are just mean.
Like when we're checking messages, like direct messages and things sometimes on your account, I just can't believe people that you've never met in your life.
And
like, why would you like spend time just to send you a nasty message like that? I mean, it's
me
crazy.
Especially. I mean, I want everybody to do well. I hope everybody's happy except for Donald Trump and his enablers. Meanwhile, the Smollett trial is going on.
I saw that too.
Yeah. And what do you think about that?
I don't think.
Raymond, let's see if this dog wants some water. Do you want to bring it over here? What do you think about, okay, so this guy I know in LA is on Jeff's show all the time. The water for the dog, yeah.
He growled at me a minute ago when I tried to give it to him.
He won't go to anybody. He's spoiled. Anyway, so I heard about some of the testimony, and there was an article about it. So I sent it to Roy. I said, what do you think? He goes, suicide.
Yeah.
So apparently, I guess his story didn't add up, but he had to testify.
And then he said he was having him
Flirtatious.
and one of the guys used to go to bathhouses and do certain things.
Yeah.
So, and they were drug fueled. That's what he was saying.
And then he said it was a homophobic, attack. But that's not inconsistent. A lot of gay people go way out of their way to prove they're not gay. Yeah. You know what I mean? The ones that are protest so much are the ones you kind of think maybe you're gay, and who cares? I still don't understand why anybody cares anymore. I never cared. When I was 18 years old, all my dance partners at Fred Astaire were gay, and I didn't even know they were gay until I found out later. I go, what's that? But I just don't understand why anybody cares. And so I had a hard time. Then when he didn't cooperate, and then he said, well, I'm afraid. I was a black man. I don't trust the police. Well, I can see that side of it. I just think there were so many things. It's not one thing or two things or three things. It's so many things. And the worst thing for me about it is here's a guy who works his whole life. He finally gets a break. He's on a hit show and he goes and destroys his life. I mean, I don't know if he's in on it, but even if he wasn't in on it, if he's keeping company with the kind of people that would do that, there's some responsibility in that too. That's why I'm not around shady people. I don't like to be around shady people. And the minute I get an inclination they're shady, I'm busy all the time. I don't have time. I'm sorry, I got this to do and that to do. I can't do it.
Joy Piet says, I live in Chicago. We do not need fake bad press. We have enough already.
Well, they do have a lot of, the problem in Chicago is they need to get the guns off the street. And that starts with Congress, because even if they took them off the streets in Chicago, or in the state of Illinois, you can just drive across, put your pickup truck and put 20 of them in there and drive across state lines. So, meanwhile, in royal news, Prince Albert said his wife needed to be left alone to recover. What happened with Princess Charlene? I don't even know what she needed to recover from. I don't know. I was wondering what happened.
Mental issues.
Oh, she's having mental issues?
She's having psychological issues that she's trying to deal with.
Oh, well, that's sad. But I will tell you this. If you join the royal family, you're kind of signing up for psychological issues. Don't you think? So meanwhile...
oh, yeah. Apparently, there's a lot of articles on it. Apparently,
yeah. I never understood what it was, and I'm too lazy to look it up.
Somebody has a question. Michael Riley wants to know, did you ever go to Target with Jeff?
I didn't go with Jeff. I've been with Brendan. Target's too expensive. Brendan and I decided Walmart's
I like the dollar
cheaper.
store.
I like the dollar store and the 99-cent store and the Dollar Tree. Did you see the Dollar Tree?
Yeah.
They made $100 million and they paid $10 million to the CEO, and they pay their people $8.25 an hour.
Yeah.
That's why when I go there, I always tip the checker, the person that checks me out. You know,
and the other thing is they only have like 2 people in the whole store. They need to have more people there.
And and they don't give them enough help.
No.
And the place always looks dingy and dirty. They could have one person cleaning all the time. They could have another person at the cash register. They could pay them $12, $15 an hour and still be very profitable.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You know, how much money does anybody need? I mean, everybody likes to have plenty of money, and the point of money is to have a convenient life, to be able to take care of your health care, to be able to help other people that need it, and to make the world better. It's not to hoard it. I mean, how much money do you need? I don't understand. How do you make $10 million and not provide health care and pay people $8.25 an hour?
Yeah. I know.
I don't understand. I mean, the mentality, especially at the dollar store. First of all, who would ever think the dollar store could make that kind of money? They don't. Every product is marked down so cheap.
Yep. And now they've raised their prices this week. It's $1.25. Yeah.
I know, you told me
I went
that.
online the day before they announced that because they have these plastic candy canes that I like to put out in the yard for the holidays,
cute.
and they're like $1 a piece. So I wanted enough to go around my whole driveway. So I needed like 50 of them. So I ordered a case, and they were $48 for 48 of them.
Okay, do they withstand the weather?
Yeah, they do. They're really good.
I'm going to put some of those walking up to my driveway for Jeff's little party.
Yeah,
I'll go to the
they're
dollar
great.
store. I love the dollar store.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, apparently the word is that, remember when Prince Harry said that someone in the royal family asked about the color of the baby's skin, the complexion? Apparently it was Prince Charles.
That's what I heard this week too.
I don't know. Let's see. Now I'm really furious with CNN for firing Chris Cuomo because he fucking helped his brother on a legal issue. What hypocrites. They got Jeffrey Toobin on there. They've got both sides on there. They got people that just go on there and lie and lie and lie so that they can be fair and balanced and show both sides of an issue. There's not a side of something if it's a lie.
Right.
If it's a lie, it's not a side. It's a lie. Okay? So now they allow... I just can't believe that they're going to fire him, and now they don't want to pay him severance. Apparently he's going to sue them for wrongful termination, and I hope he wins. And now they're making hay because Don Lemon had texted Swolnick about the police not believing him. So what? If you're a reporter, what's wrong with telling someone that's in the news the police don't believe you? What's wrong with that? That's not interfering in a case. That's telling somebody what's going on. It's just so annoying. Oh, before I get to the rest of all this gossip, let me show you this on Etsy or Instagram.
Yeah, Etsy or on Instagram.
At WHOGONSKETCHMEBOO.
So it's like who gonna sketch me, or
But
who's
it's not
gonna?
A.
Yeah, but
Who gone? G-O-N.
Yeah, there's no
sketch
E.
me boo, no E. And I put who gonna sketch me and it kicked back. So
Yeah.
it's who gone sketch me. Look what this guy. James bought a bunch of these, and I said I want to pay for them because I want them. Look, this guy is super talented. I gotta tell
These are
you.
digital sketches that he does.
But these are so cute.
But look, there's Freda.
It's so cute. Remember Norman the psychic? I'm going to take this to LA and give it to him. He did Elsa. God bless Elsa. Poor thing. Poor thing. Oh my God.
That was you and
These
Bimini.
are hilarious. They make me look like Cruella de Vil. I love it. I'm dying for it. I mean, you just look like this mean old Cruella de Vil.
That was you and Bimini being all insightful.
Insightful.
But look how he's even like on the bottom of each of them. It tells what scene from what season and show it was.
Oh, let me see.
So
the guy is
the guy is like really
cute.
cute. You can see him on the bigger ones a little better. But
Okay, well there I have that. And then look at this one. Now, if I really look like this, I'm just, I don't know, but I love them. I'm going to send some to my mother. Look at these. They're
that was
hilarious.
a good PR shot.
I am
one of you in the
these-
the diamond earrings.
Yeah, I'm getting to those. Is that this one? No, that's this
that
one.
yeah.
And then this one. This is when I was talking about the earrings with Taylor. What's his name? Taylor Hicks.
Taylor Hicks.
I love Taylor Hicks. Oh my God, he sent me 3 of these. Oh my God,
Those are the
love
bigger
them.
sizes.
And then we got the big. Oh my God, we bought too much stuff, James.
Well, you said you were going to send a few of them out, and
Oh
then I
my
got
God.
these are all the other
Those are the ones you bought.
Those
Who
are
all
the-
did you buy?
I got
Go
like
through the list. Who'd you buy?
Vicky screaming that she has never slept with multiple partners. Bethany saying, tell it all, tell it all. Kim eating pizza while her ass fat was being blown away at the same time.
Oh my God.
Nene saying, buy wig. Clip by
Oh my God.
Dorinda. I've got Teresa flipping the table.
Well, we hit the lottery.
they're all
These
so
are
cute.
really cute stocking stuffers if you're into all this. Yeah.
Sucking on a pickle.
You know, you should buy these and send them to the girls or put them with the stocking stuffers. I
love
just
this
think
one.
they're so cute.
That's
Oh, let me
so
see
cute.
that one. Oh, Sonia in bed,
In bed with
remember?
the remote control the TV. I love that.
They're hilarious.
She is so
What are you
funny.
going to do with them?
So I bought
Look at
20 different images, and I have this place above my television, and I'm gonna frame them on. I'm gonna make this like Housewives collage in the
Yeah.
entertainment room.
Who gonna check me boo?
That's it.
G-O-N. Who gone?
Yeah, gone,
with a
check me boo.
Check me boo. I think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, thank you. You're very talented.
Gordon is very talented, and he's super sweet. and-
Brooklyn, New York. His art project started a little over a year ago as a way to distract himself from the news. Well, God knows we need that. And the constant election and pandemic stress, and to celebrate the most necessary and wonderful kind of escape that we get from the Housewives. Well, let me curate that for you, Gordon. There's a few we could do without. Oh my God, speaking of Housewives, listen to this. Oh my God. So Heather Thompson posted, oh my God. Thompson smiles, happily poses for a selfie with the fan. But then she made it clear to the Post that she has reached the end of the road with the Real Housewives of New York. I remember we talked
Heather,
about
she
this
said-
before.
yeah, exactly.
But listen what she said. I went to the show because producers say they want to empower women, but at the end of the day, they actually do the total reverse of that, she told the Post. They're showing women behaving badly at each other's throats. It's an exclusive interview. Thompson, 50, insists that she can no longer be part of a machine that rewards this or the scenes that she alleges are fake. She also claimed that she watched as castmate Ramona Singer made an alleged racist comment that led Bravo to put New York reunion on ice last month. Now remember, they said they did an internal investigation and it wasn't true. And everyone rallied around Ramona and said it wasn't true. But Heather's saying that it was true. And I will say Heather doesn't have a dog in the fight. So that's an interesting to probe, I guess.
Yeah.
A production source previously told Page Six that Singer said this is why we shouldn't have black people on the show in reference to Ebony. After Luann, Ebony.
Yeah.
After Luann kicked Williams out of her home. The singer denied making that comment, calling it a terrible lie. Yeah. However, Thompson told the Post, I was there. I heard Ramona say it, and I freaked out. Bravo said there was an investigation. To my knowledge, they've never offered or required unconscious bias or sensitivity training to the cast or production on the show ever. I was never asked, do they know or care about the effects the show has? I don't think they should be. I got to disagree with you there. You got to have a class on bias and sensitivity training. Oh my God!
Most corporations have that nowadays.
Yeah, but
though.
this isn't a corporation's reality TV.
Well, Bravo is a corporation, though.
Yeah, it's true, but these are just these are low-hanging fruit. People trying to get attention. It's not going to go. It's going to go in one ear and out the other. Anyway, she said that she started burning her bridges when she claimed in her book, in the new book, All Diamonds and Rosé, the inside story, and she said she sticks by her word, and that she's burned her bridge. Well, she has burned her bridge. The minute you cross Bravo, you've burned your bridge. I'm just going to tell you right now. That's the way it goes.
Did you have the thing on PK today?
Yeah,
for
I got
the
the
Housewives?
DUI.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I read that it's only 0.81, and the thing is 0.8, and by the time he got to the station, it was 0.79. So I have a feeling if he has a good enough lawyer, he'll be able to get that dismissed, because it was very borderline. So that's interesting, that he got pulled over.
I mean,
Why do it?
Anybody nowadays. There is no point. And I'm going to tell you, I watched some comments on some of the posts yesterday about that, and people are correct because I've noticed this myself. You know, we see women go to these dinners and stuff on the show all the time, and they drink, and then we see them get back in cars sometimes and drive. And you know, that's not right.
It's wrong. You know what I do? First, I hardly drink. So I just tell Rory, if you want to drink, I'll drive. But he doesn't like me drive because I'm always lost. But once in a while that happens, but we don't drink that much.
Right.
But Brendan told me that he would go out once in a while, and if he had one drink, if he thought he had drank even had any doubt about that he had drank too much, he would just take an Uber home and go back and get his car the next day.
Today, that's what she'd be doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should do.
There's no point in it nowadays.
No, there's no point. Well, there's no point. It's just too dangerous, especially with all these people running around with the guns. What about, well, speaking of guns, what about the guy with the Christmas card with all those guns? 2 days after all those kids were slaughtered at the school. And then he posts his picture and tells Santa, all I want for Christmas is bring the ammo or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Awful.
These people, you know, I'm going to tell you, if the United States, if this movement of violent, you know, surrectionist, anti-democracy, we're going to overthrow the election, we want to keep America white again, we don't want Muslims, we don't want blacks, we don't want gays, we don't want Asians, we don't want, if they win by overthrowing the election and putting low people in high places again, we'll never get the country back.
No, and I'm scared that we're already
I think the momentum
that
is going
line.
in that direction because Trump, from the time Trump came down the elevator, with his racist, bigoted spewing, there has been no peace in the world. We could have shut down COVID earlier. We could have been on top of climate earlier. You know, we wouldn't have put that ultimatum on in Afghanistan, so we could have peacefully gotten out of there over a period of time instead of, well, if we don't get out by this date, we're going to go to war. I mean, he's done pulled out of the Iran agreement, and now they're building up their nuclear arsenal. Curtailing to Putin. Now Putin's being empowered. He's going to try to go invade, Ukraine again, thinking, you know, well, he got away with everything so far. I mean, he did so much damage in such a short. Roy said the other night, how can one person do this much damage in such a short period of time? And my conclusion is there are a lot of people that are very corruptible. They're corruptible. He surrounds himself with corruptible people.
Absolutely.
He's very good at seeing, well, I can corrupt, you know, he has a magnet for corruption.
He's good at manipulating everybody.
And then he gets blackmails. I still believe that he had blackmail information on him that Putin got from the RNC computers, and he knew that Trump was corruptible. And so Trump has stuff to corrupt these people. Now, apparently a lot of these Republican senators are regretting they didn't vote for impeachment, and they had no idea how bad it was going to get, but it's too late. The
damage is done.
Well, the train's left the station and the momentum is going in that direction. So, I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I think, to me, if the DOJ doesn't start locking people up, they don't start putting people in jail, and if the Congress doesn't pass the Voters' Right Act and the John Lewis Voters' Right Act, then it's over. And if it's over, I mean, honestly, I think I just want to sell everything and set RJ up in some other peaceful country, because it's going to be a violent country for a long time, and they're going to have no rights, because they start by taking away this right, and then it's the next right, and it's the abortion right, and then it's going to be the next right, and then it's going to be the gay marriage right.
Well, they've already done voting rights, so now it's going to be it's just going to continue.
Going down this authoritarian path. And they now think violence is an acceptable way to get their way.
Exactly.
Up until they brought violence into it, it was like an argument. You could say an intellectual dispute, but you're not really, these people aren't intellects, but you could say it was just a mental, fight. But now they think bringing the arms, now they have 400 million arms on the street. When Parkland happened, they had 300 million arms on the street. So people are just arming up, and they're just looking for the fight. And if you look at these people and the kind of people that they are, I mean, they're not educated, they're somewhat illiterate, they don't really know right from wrong. They just want America to be white again, and they want men running the world, and they don't want women having their rights. And then the leaders have let it happen. They know better. These people in Congress are educated, and now not all of them, Boebert and Marjorie Greene and those, they don't have a clue. They're just nasty people that they're like the housewife that wants to get the most attention, so they throw the chair across the room. You know, they're just like despicable people. But a lot of these people in Congress that are elected representatives, they know better. And so the ones that know better, that don't want to go along with it, are just getting out of the arena of politics, leaving a space for more radicals to come in. And the ones that do believe it but don't want to lose their seat or don't want to have someone coming after them, what are they doing? They're just sitting there, wink, wink, nod, nod. We know what's really going on, but you know, we're not going to rock the boat. We're going to let them do it. And so they're just complicit in it.
Yep.
So here we are.
And they're, like Alan just said, here they're feeding the fire of people like Ted Cruz and people like that.
And Ted Cruz, he just wants power. Ted Cruz is a horrible human being.
I can't stand him.
I mean, he's just a horrible human being. And if you remember years back, Lindsey Graham said Ted Cruz is the one senator that if somebody shot and killed him on the Senate floor, that no one will convict. I mean, they hate him too. But he's got this, you know, they've got this all shucks way about him, and they're appealing to the rural communities that don't go to the top schools, that aren't online following the real news. They're going down these rabbit holes of fake news, and they're just consolidating. And everybody always knew there was a Proud Boy, and there was a this one, and there was a that one, but now Trump has brought them all together and consolidated them all. And now there's a big number. It's a big number. Yep. And the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they're all together. They all have different agendas, but their goal is to bring down democracy. And Trump's the leader of the pack. And if Merrick Garland doesn't get off his ass, he needs to go spend more time with his family and retire and let him put somebody in there. And did you see now that there's like 400 appointments that we can't make because Ted Cruz is vetoing every one of them, vetoing every one of them, vetoing every one of them. Yeah. So we have like 400 seats of government officials that we need to have in positions right now, and he's sabotaging it all. They want Biden to fail. They're doing everything they can to make him fail, so make it easier for them to say he lost the election so that they can steal it if he does win the election.
Right.
It's just it's really depressing. It's so depressing. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's commenting and agreeing with you.
Well, I'm glad. We need to spread the word. And you know what? You need to sign up to be poll watchers, and you need to knock doors, and you need to make calls, and you need to get a hold of the representatives in your area that are leading the get out the vote and volunteer. You can do it from home, you know? It's just unbelievable.
You're getting a lot of questions about the skincare all of a sudden.
Yay, what do you want to know?
Well, people are wanting to know if we have ambassadors or other outlets where it's sold. And right now we haven't. We control all of it internally. It's sold on our website. And then we do the occasional thing with Jeff Lewis, which we actually do off our website now. So we have those. And if you have any questions or about the skincare or anything, you can contact our customer service department. And we're here right now, or you can email us at hello@leahblack.com.
So call 305-443-8980 and we answer your questions, or go to hello@leahblack.com and we'll answer your questions. We do export. We do have some places where we export, and we have our online site, and we are a lot on Instagram and social media, and people just know about us because I've been doing this for so many years. I was the #3 infomercial in the world for like 3 years when I did the Sudden Youth one. When I did the Joan Collins one, we were #1 for months on end. So I just maintained all those customers and built on it. Is really how it's organic.
And look at Joan Collins, like.
Yeah.
She still looks like she's 50.
She looks fabulous.
She's amazing.
Let's see how much time we have. Okay,
you have about 20
along,
minutes. 22 minutes.
So now they're mandating testing from coming in from the outside the U.S. I agree with that. I think if you're outside the country and you come in, you should have to have a mandated test. Why should we allow you to come spread the disease? You know? Of course, in Florida, you know, DeSantis is inviting you down if you aren't vaccinated to spread the disease. Now, what about this kid in Michigan? Oh my God, that shot these kids and killed them, and then his parents fled and left him in jail to fend for himself. No wonder the kid is screwed up.
Right.
His parents
I mean,
left
they just
him.
they just like, you're on your own, kid.
Facing murder, 4 charges of murder.
Yep.
After the mother has texted him, laugh, laugh, you have to learn not to get
Don't get caught
when
next
you're
time.
looking for, for bullets online. After he had that backpack in his pocket, and his backpack had the gun, and the parents never said, we own a gun, or do you happen to have the gun with you, when they went to the meeting. After the parents didn't want to take him home after the meeting with the school. After he shot those people, the dad, the first thing he did was go look for the gun. He called and knew it was him. All of this is going on. The kid does this. These poor kids are murdered in cold blood. And then the parents leave him in the jail and go take $4,000 out of their ATM account and try to flee to Canada. And then the kid is sitting in jail by himself with who?
Joy Piet just says,
I mean,
she says, I just read the parents have an attorney for themselves now and not their son. So they've got their own separate legal thing.
And then they're just leaving the kid.
And they're leaving the kid out to dry.
Let him
but listen,
get the
they're
death
at fault
penalty.
totally because
Of course they're at fault.
There was a picture he drew of people covered in blood, and he said the voices kept telling me there was no way for it to stop.
I know.
And they still didn't.
And they didn't do anything
about it.
You know, I still don't understand why the person that bought the gun for Kyle Rittinger, who was 17, the person that dropped him over Kenosha to use the gun if he wanted to, they weren't indicted. I don't understand why, if you are enabling a minor for a crime, why you're not charged.
Yeah. Plus, they bought him the gun, and they were encouraging it.
And posted it on social media, and were proud as punch about it.
Yeah.
And then how this Bower's got her little card with the guns, and now she's got the other ones with the other one sent out the card with the gun. I just can't wrap my head around. They're teaching violence at such an early age.
Yep.
And now it's like, well, you're not going to take our country from us. If you take our country from us, we're going to, come with our guns. And a lot of these Republicans also said the reason they didn't stand up to Trump is they were getting death threats against them and their families.
Yep.
And they just were like, we aren't willing to die. And so they didn't stand up for that reason. Well, can you imagine getting death threats because you don't believe an election was stolen when the facts say that it wasn't?
Yeah.
I mean, these people never let the facts get in the way of their violence,
they
I'll
never
tell you
did.
that.
Never.
Then meanwhile, this is interesting, I thought, in Ecuador, this motorcyclist, this guy was a part of a group of motorcyclists. He died. It didn't say how he died. His group went and got him out of his casket, put a guy riding the bike, him on the motorcycle, and a guy behind him to hold him, and took him for one last ride, dead. And then they all applauded him when he got back, and they put him back in the casket.
Oh my God.
I mean, there are so many weird people in the world. And dozens were cheering when he got back. The children's deaths since 1963 in guns were 193,000. And 0 deaths from masks, and zero deaths from that.
I saw this week we've now surpassed the Civil War in deaths from COVID.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, the Republicans want to blame Biden that he didn't shut down the virus, but they're the ones that don't want to wear the mask and get vaccinated. Yeah. They're just trying to make him fail. Yeah. They're willing to let people die to get the COVID numbers up in order to bring him down, because we're going to be a communist socialist country. You know what? If you consider Social Security communist socialist, do you consider Medicare and Medicaid socialist and communist? Do you consider any benefit that you get from the U.S. government, driving on a bridge or flying on an airplane, all the infrastructure that was built by the U.S. government, you consider that socialism and communism?
Yeah.
No, you benefit from it, you enjoy it, and you think you're entitled to it. But then when somebody says, well, let's take care of the elderly and expand the Medicare so they can get hearing aids and glasses. Well, if it's your mother and your father, you're like, yeah, I'd like them to have free. But generally speaking, nope, I'm not for it. That is not socialism and communism. That is, we pay into a government system so the government can support its citizens and the infrastructure of the country. Yeah. And our taxes are really not that high when you compare it to other countries. And I think that I'd love to see the taxes come down, but stop the wasteful spending. We spend a ton of money having to go and investigate the insurrection. We spent a ton of money having to investigate all this fake voter fraud that didn't exist. We spent a ton of money having to, go to war in Afghanistan, which was unnecessary that George Bush did. So all Democrats are saying is spend the money wisely and on the people. Don't spend it on all this nonsense. Yep. Well, that's communism. No, it's not. You're an idiot. You're stupid. And, oh, God, I can't. Meanwhile, did you see that plumber at Osteen's church found all that money, $600,000?
Can you believe it?
In envelopes stuffed behind a toilet in cash and checks. So.
And did you hear what happened this morning?
What?
There had been because they think it was part of something that happened years ago. There was a reported theft.
Yeah.
He got a $20,000 reward today.
They should have given him more than that.
For that. But I thought so too, but that's what he got.
But first of all, 2 or 3 things. One, it shows you how Osteen takes all this money from these poor people passing that offering plate, and it's a fraud. It's just a fraud.
Who has $500,000 in cash in a safe sitting somewhere?
That was what was stolen.
It's not in a bank.
So it has to be people somebody that was working there on an inside job is stealing it and stashing it. And little by little as they need it, they were getting it. And either they didn't have access anymore, they got fired, whatever happened. Yep. But, they should have given the guy more than $20,000. I mean, it was $600,000. But all those checks are probably not good anymore. But the fact that they could steal $600,000 tells you how much money they're raking in.
Exactly. They didn't even notice it. Or it was gone and they barely even saw.
And this is a guy, by the way, that when Hurricane Katrina came,
he
wouldn't let people in the church that were drowning and freezing and hungry outside until 4 days into it. When at that point the press was piling on and he opened the doors, but he probably put plastic down and said, don't touch anything. Yeah. I don't know.
It's too much.
Oh my God. And then in Miami, did you see a stowaway was riding on what happened? He was riding on the tire, right?
He stowed away in the underhaul somewhere from the tire entrance is how he got in there.
And he's the only one that's ever survived it. I mean, I think if you were willing to do that and you got here on that and you don't have a criminal record, honey, let me welcome you with a welcome basket. God bless. Why? Instead, they go lock him up. But I mean, if you're willing to risk your life and fly on the outside of a plane like that to get to Miami, you must be so desperate. Yep. Or you need a mental institution. You don't need to be arrested. If you're a criminal, that's one thing. But if you're just a guy trying to get a better life, my God, get him a welcome basket. Oh, God. Well, there's a new business going on. Would you be willing to pay someone to listen to you vent? The rise of professional listeners from Salon. Would you pay to have someone listen to you vent?
Would I pay to have someone listen to me vent? No.
Well, I don't have to because I have all you.
I was getting ready to say that's what we're doing right now. It's free.
We're getting it free. This is called the vent. The vent. Oh my God. So NPR analysis shows by facts and numbers and data that people that live in states that voted for Trump, in Trump area states, are 3 times more likely to die from COVID, from misinformation, than people that live in non-Trump voting states. So they're killing off their own voters. Yep. That they can go get their guns. Yep. Oh my God. And now this is how far people will go. This guy, did you read this? He tried to use a fake arm to get vaccinated. Did you see that? How do you do that? He had a fake arm. Yeah. He had his arm at Jason's left. Had his arm inside his clothes, and he had a fake arm attached on to him, and he had the sleeve down like 4 inches. So when the doctor or the nurse starts doing it, they're like punching on the arm, and they're like, "There's something not right about this." And they said, "Would we need you to take off your shirt?" They're like worried, like something's happened to you. And he takes off his shirt. He had a fake arm to get the vaccine. How far would you go? I honestly, you got to give him creative. You got to give him credit for being creative. I can't. Oh my God. Well, then this 54-year-old man who got infected, he wouldn't take the vaccine because it was animal tested, and he's an animal advocate. Yeah. He wound up begging for the vaccine, but it was too late and he died. Would you rather have a rat die or a person die? I mean, I don't believe in hurting animals like real animals, but I don't consider rats real animals.
It's kind of vermin.
I just don't. I feel like they're here for a reason, and that's for us to use them to test. They don't have a brain or anything. They're just
they have a brain.
Well, but it isn't like, it's not like they don't have any thought process. They don't know their family. I don't know. I can't. So there's a travel ban in Japan, Israel, and Morocco because of the COVID variant. And there's a partial travel ban in US, Britain, Canada, Spain, Turkey, Brazil, Russia, Austria, Italy, Germany, and Singapore because of the variant. So I won't be going to any of those places anyway. So there was a sign on the door in this Kentucky restaurant. Stop and read. Big letters. Stop and read. We draw guns on masked visitors. Take your mask off before entering, no exceptions.
Yeah.
The world is crazy, people. I can't with these crazy. There are more of us than them, but they have louder voices and they're more destructive. So it takes 3 to 1 to get rid of them. We've got to get rid of them. And you know, Mark Meadows, now they have text messages with him. He was in on the insurrection.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what they were going to do. Remember when we had 183 Republican House members that didn't vote to certify? And everyone thought, wow, that's really strange. Well, no, they were all in on it. They were plotting and planning. They were all part of it. They were figuring out how to do it. I just, oh my God, I can't anymore. And now we find out there's an alternative Mueller report. So why is there an alternative Mueller report? Why didn't Mueller put out the report? Why didn't he put out the whole thing, lay it bare? Why is there an alternative one that now people are combing through to see what they were hiding and not putting out?
Because remember, it was what's his name that was Attorney General. He took
Bill Barr.
And then he wrote his own version of it, and that's what he handed over.
Yeah, but if I'm Mueller and Bill Barr says to me, we're going to have this, you're only going to put out this, I'm saying, like,
well,
I'm a special prosecutor, and here's my report. I'm not hiding anything.
I think Mueller fumbled the whole thing up too. So
loser.
I agree.
And Barr, loser. And Merrick Garland may be coming in the same category.
Yep.
Unless he's doing some things behind the scene that haven't leaked out and that we don't know about, he's a loser too.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Because Trump has already admitted to crimes in public. Arrest him. Bannon has already admitted to crimes in public. Arrest him. Now Mark Meadows has. Arrest them. Put them in jail without bail until they testify and we'll get to the bottom of what's going on. Does anybody remember Susan McDougal?
Yeah,
went to jail
exactly. Remember that?
for a long time, 18 months or something, because she wouldn't testify. Oh my God. So Trump is now trying to replace all volunteer poll watchers and precinct judges with that were elected by county clerks with his own people that would have already gone on record and said, I would not have certified the election. And then it comes out, in addition to all that he's done, that he had COVID 3 days before the debate. He had the SCOTUS hearing from Amy Perry. Remember all the people that got the COVID from the White House hearing lawn, from the lawn there on the Rose Garden when they indoctrinated what's her name, Amy Bo Carrot, whatever, Amy Comey Barrett, whatever, and then he went to the next day. He did the Gold Star families, and if you remember, he indicated that he thinks he got the COVID from the Gold Star families because they were so grateful to see him. They just had to have a big hug from you. Oh, Mr. President, I've got to have a hug from you. So I think I got it from one of the Gold Star members. He infected the Gold Star members. Then he did the bait prep in a small room with 5 or 6 people, and 5 out of the 6 got the COVID, and Christie almost died from it. Yep. So he was a super spreader. He was in front of 500 people, in close proximity to 500 people from the time he got COVID to the time he admitted having it. Mm-hmm. And then when they took him to the hospital, he literally almost died. And you know what? Sometimes you have to do things for the greater good, doctors. I'm sorry. Oh my God, let's see. Well, I guess that's enough. We've done enough. Have we passed anything? Okay, so everybody have a happy holiday. Remember our special. What's our special again?
Our special right now is the Friends and Family event, 40% off. Use code FRIENDS2021 for all the individual skincare products. We've also got bundles. We've got a gift with purchase going on right now. If you go to leahblack.com, you'll see it all on the website banners. And anything else?
Have a good holiday.
Yes.
I'll probably be saying hello from LA because I'll have Julie, Brandy, and Brendan all around that have their machines and they know how to use them.
But this
so I'll probably do some Instagram something.
So, or we might have a bonus podcast, but right now
we'll do something.
We'll be back in January probably with the
but
new
I have a lot of
episodes.
people there that know how to use equipment,
Yeah,
so
so
maybe
we might do a
they'll get
few.
motivated. Okay, guys.
Thank
happy
you all so
holidays.
much
Say
for
bye.
listening all year and Happy New
Thanks
Year.
for all your orders, and we're rewarding you by doing some really great specials near the end of the year. And tune in to Jeff Lewis on the 23rd because it's going to be a really big special event that we have there. Okay, guys, talk to you soon. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye.
Okay, baby.
Okay, wait a minute.